all the pretty girls. Hello, and welcome to A Cup of Meg and Joe with me, your host, Meg and Joe. I don't know why I said cup like that. Anyway, we're gonna roll with it. Hello, what's up? How you doing? How are ya? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. How was your weekend? How was your day? How was your morning? I would really love to know when you tune into the pod. Do you listen to it while you're making breakfast? Do you listen to it while you're driving somewhere? I want to know where we're having this conversation. Well, I'm interested to know. I don't have to know, but I'm interested to know. Anyway, hello. And welcome to the pod. If you've never been here before, hello and welcome. This is one of my favorite things to do ever. On this pod, I kind of just sit here and talk about life, talk about all the things that go into life. I talk about a lot of personal experiences, about my days and some stuff that I feel like sharing and getting some insight on. I also really love chatting with you and answering your questions and having just an open discussion. I think that's like my main thing here. I love having an open discussion, an open space, a kind of safe space for us to just like chill and talk and hang. And yeah. So welcome. Hi. Thanks for joining. Also, one of the main things we do here on the pod is we grab our favorite beverage, whatever that may be. Mine just so happens to be matcha. And I like to just sit here while I drink my drinkity drink and talk to you. I'm feeling in a silly, goofy mood today, okay? So if I say some crazy things, just bear with me. So anyway, come on down. Bring your favorite drink and bring your favorite bevy bev, and come join the discussion. Or sit here for the discussion. Today I have a matcha, and I have an Earl Grey matcha. Wow. I made an Earl Grey matcha because I had an Earl Grey matcha. How many times can we say Earl Grey matcha in the same sentence? I had an Earl Grey matcha this past Friday, and it was really yummy. And I've been hearing a lot about different like Earl Grey lattes lately. And as we know, hold on, let me close that. Okay. And as we know, I really don't drink lattes anymore. No espresso for me. It's not good. So I can still drink some Earl Grey. I can still drink like tea with caffeine and stuff. Anyway, so the Earl Grey that I had at this really lovely cafe that I went to with my friend this past weekend was really good. So I decided to try my own hand at it. And this morning, I already had a cup of Earl Grey tea. So I don't really know what the exact method to making an Earl Grey matcha is, but I would assume you just put some Earl Grey tea in there. So I had some leftover of my Earl Grey tea that I didn't finish. And I had like this much. And I just put it into the matcha that I was making and added some agave and some oat milk. And here we have it. And I present to you my mug that I love so much. I got this about 2 weeks ago as a little self-care item when I went on my self-care item hunt. I think that was like last week or 2 weeks ago. I got this with the self-care frog mug that I got last week. That is not what it's called. That's just what I'm calling it. But I got this mug. Give you some ASMR with my new nails. I got this mug and I added it to my insane mug collection that my mom really hates. She doesn't hate, but when I was living with my parents, my mom was like, "You can't get any more mugs. You just can't." And I I now live on my own and I'm still doing the same thing. I am a hoarder of mugs. I don't think it's a hoarder. I think I just love mugs. I love a cute mug that you can drink your favorite beverage out of, that you just feel good drinking in, or you feel good drinking it out of. And it could be like a favorite character of yours, or a cute saying, or your favorite color or something. I just love mugs. I just love being like, you know? Anyway, oh my God. It's really good. I love the Earl Grey. Oh, okay. So the mug that I got says, I survived the emotional roller coaster. Yeah. Let's give it up. Yeah. Oh, the emotional roller coaster was my period last week. So this is definitely on brand, on theme. We love it. We love her. We love the colors. I love the colors on here. It screams like a 70s kind of mug. 70s, 80s vibes. What do we think? It has like just really cool font and really fun colors. Yellow, green, blue, red, pink, purple, even. And it just looks like, I don't know, it's just cute and fun. Anyway, this is my new addition to my mug collection. This is actually the latest that I'm having matcha right now. It is currently 12:41 and I usually have matcha at like 7 a.m. But that's because I had a very slow morning today and it was very lovely. It was so lovely. Excuse me. I have the day off today, so I decided that I would just take it nice and slow because I don't have any time constraints. I don't have to be anywhere at any certain time. I'm just home today. Well, I got to do some grocery shopping later, but like no rush on that. And I mean, I feel like every day I kind of have like medium paced mornings. They're slow, and I don't know, it's like slow to medium, but it's not like super fast paced mornings anymore where I'm like rushing out the door, because I really learned that I don't like doing that. I really don't. It just doesn't set me up for success for the day. But so today I still woke up at my normal time. I woke up around like 6:30 and I did my yoga. And today was actually out of this 30-day yoga journey that I keep calling it yoga. Yeah, I mean, out of this 30-day yoga journey of this month that I'm doing, it is day 22. But if you count the whole entire time that I've been yoga, yes, I am yoga, that I've been doing yoga throughout this entire year, since the top of this year, it's day 52, which is wild, so wild. But it's crazy. It's my favorite thing ever to do in the mornings, as I mentioned on the previous episode on self-care. So anyway, I did my yoga. So anyway, I started my morning off with yoga and I just like kept it nice and slow this morning. I took my time. Like I took my sweet time. I usually do take my time, but I really was just going nice and slow. There's just something nice and sweet about a very slow paced morning. And by that, I mean like I took the time to do yoga. I took a nice shower. I did an eye mask. Oh, my friend Brittany, who I think I mention every freaking episode because that's my bestie, but Brittany got me a self-love box last year. I want to say on my birthday. And it just contains all these self-care goodies like eye masks, one of those headbands that you use when you do your skincare routine, a lip mask, a bath bomb, all the goodies. And one of the things in there that I've been dying to use was an under eye mask. Is that what you call that? And so I used that this morning and I left that on for like 30 minutes. And what else did I do? It's literally been like 6 hours already since I've been up, which is insane to me. But But yeah, I had time for my eye mask, and then I blew out my hair, which I have recently been doing, and I feel like I'm really digging the blowout lately. I don't really like using heat on my hair too much, but I've just been trying my hand at it a little bit as of late. So I blew out my hair this morning, and I then made some breakfast. I had some lentil soup and some rice in there, some basmati rice, and it was really good and comforting. I love me a good lentil soup. And I literally had so much time for so many things, and I was just like, let me just use all this time to my advantage since I don't have to be anywhere. After breakfast, I just got ready and I did my makeup, and then I did my nails. I did my nails. I took off my nail polish. I cut my nails. I did the whole thing. I was just like really taking care of my nails. And then I put on these guys. For those of you who are just listening and can't see the things that I'm doing with my hand right now, I'm wearing some chill tips, if you must. And I literally feel like the coolest woman ever wearing these. It just makes me feel super classy, super sophisticated, and like well done. You know, like I could be feeling like crap on the inside, but if I'm wearing these, I feel like I just look at them and I'm like, oh yeah, these are freaking fire. You know, I don't know. The chill house nails just make me feel better than I am. Or either they make me feel better than I am on a bad day, or they make me feel even better on a great day. You know what I mean? I feel like these are the perfect nails. Perfect nails. And they're lavender. They're called Checked Out, and I love them so much. And now I just get to clickety click on things, like typing on my phone, doing this to my mug, and just all the things. I love clicking away. But yeah, the nails look so good. So I did some nice self-care this morning. And I had a lovely morning because of that, and because like I just got to like just chill. And after I did my nails, my partner Liam made some food, so we ate together. And Liam didn't wake up until a little later. He woke up a little later than I did. So we ate some lunch together, and then now I'm here filming the pod, doing the thing with you. And yeah, I want to take a sip. So I feel like all that I talked about, the morning and self-care and that, and I mean that relates to what I said on the previous episode, just talking about how self-care is very important to me, and I really am heavy on that. And then I also really love to take advantage of it when I get to the most. And on the topic of, I feel like I always am emphasizing morning routines, and it made me think about how, like, yes, we have morning routines, but also I think in order to have a good morning, you also need to have a good night. And by that, I mean, what is your night care routine? Because that looks different to everyone too. Everyone gets home at a different time from work. You eat dinner, you do the things, and like some people go to the gym at night. Some people I think everybody's day looks entirely different. So I would love to know what your night routine is, and how do you set yourself up for success in the morning? Because one thing that I need to do all the time before I go to bed is I need to lay my yoga mat out in the living room before I go to sleep. So like there's this whole thing that I do where like we have a coffee table. I'm sitting on my couch right now in the living room where I also do my yoga, and we have a coffee table right in the middle as well. So at night before I go to bed, I just move the table over to the edge, and then I bring my yoga mat to the floor and I just lay it out. That way, that is already set up by the time I wake up in the morning. And that's the first place I go to in the morning besides the bathroom. So it's already there and set for me. And that's the way I like to set up myself before I go to sleep. That way it's just there and ready for me. And I've only recently started doing that. I feel like before I would just move the table and kind of just place my yoga mat still rolled up in the middle of the living room. But now I've been laying it out instead of just leaving it there in its rolled up position, and it's been really nice. And also I last night I slept at like 10. So I think that's why I was able to wake up at like 6:30. Not gonna lie, I snoozed my alarm a lot this morning. Because I've just been really tired. Last week I was so tired. I think last week was like the latest I was waking up. But yeah, that's kind of something that I do at night before I go to bed. I try to sleep early. I really love sleeping early. I feel like before, when I would wake up super late, it was always because I would sleep so late, like 12:31, even 2. Like, I just didn't care about my sleep. I didn't care about getting that rest. And now I really, really, really value it because I notice how much of a difference it makes me feel in the morning. So yeah, sleeping early I think is important if you want to also start the day early. Brushing your teeth. Always brush your teeth. Always brush your teeth, because our teeth are teeth. Oh my God. Ugh, teeth, like, sorry, I'm not even gonna get into it, but always make sure to brush your teeth because things can happen in there. I also learned that you need to gargle, or you should gargle, every time you eat a meal. So yeah, fun fact. Anyway, so now on to what I actually want to talk about today. I kind of want to discuss making friends when you're older. Making friends when you're out of the high school scene, when you're out of seeing everyone all the time, and when you're an adult in your adult years and you're finding your new circles. The reason why I want to talk about that is because I feel like I have been inserting myself in communities lately, I feel like I've been inserting myself in places lately where I've been finding a really nice sense of community and like building that. And it's just been a really lovely experience. And I feel like, when we were in high school, we're used to seeing the same people every day, and that's how we find our friends. And that's what it is at that time in our lives. But I feel like as you get older, it's hard to make friends. It's hard to make friends if you don't put yourself out there. And it's hard to make friends. Well, it's hard to make new friends when you see the same people every day. Like who you've already been seeing, and it's time to like branch out of your circle. And so with that said, I've been meeting a lot of cool people lately, and it's been really, really fun. And like, I love making new friends. And don't get me wrong, I love my friends. I love my circle of friends. I love my people. But to meet new people and to find new connections in different places has been so much fun. And for example, at the yoga studio that I go to every weekend, it's literally where I spend my Sundays, which is my favorite part of my Sundays. I met this woman. I think I mentioned that last week on the pod. I might have. But I met this lovely woman who I see every week at Yin Yoga, every Sunday at Yin Yoga. And then we did our sound healing together. And then we got each other's number. And she asked me for my number, and she wanted to like get a cup of coffee or, just like chat. And I love that she asked me for my number because I wanted to ask her, and she kind of beat me to the punch. She's an older woman too. Like, we're not the same age. And I think that's what's really cool about it too, because I think as you just get older, I mean, let me speak like personally, I love meeting older people. I love talking to older people. I mean, or people the same age too, but I just love talking to older people. You get such a different perspective on life. And this specific woman is so cool. And we talked about meeting up like 2 weeks ago, and this past weekend we finally met up. I reached out to her and asked her if she wanted to meet up this past Sunday. And we met up at this cafe, and we both had like a hibiscus green tea drink, like an iced tea. And this is, I think, one of my favorite parts is that it wasn't an alcoholic beverage. I think for so long, I mean, as I was growing up, well, as I was like in my 20s, it was always like, yeah, let's grab a drink. Let's grab a beer. Let's grab this and that. And like, trust me, that's great and all. But there's something right now that I really value about like grabbing a cup of coffee with someone, grabbing tea, grabbing a pastry. And it doesn't always have to involve alcohol. And I don't know what that says. I mean, I think it's just, I don't really like to drink that much anymore. I mean, I have a casual drink here and there, like a wine or a cocktail with dinner, but like I don't really like to like get obliterated anymore. It's just not fun for me. I wake up and I feel so anxious if I drink too much. And I don't sleep well. So anyway, so I met up with that lady, and we sat and chat for about like 40-ish minutes, and she had to go to a hot yoga class after we were meeting up. We only had like a bracket of time to meet up, but it was so much fun. And it's crazy. We have so many things in common that we're like interested in psychology and music and the creative arts therapy realm. And mind you, she's older than me for sure. I don't know how much older. I didn't ask her, but she's definitely older than me. She could be my mom's age, honestly, maybe younger, but like in that bracket. And she was so cool and so interesting and really fun to chat with. And I really valued our conversation, and we were really just like getting to know each other. And it felt like a little date, like a friend date. And don't you love that? I love friend dates. I love going on dates with friends. I love going on dates in general, but when you go on dates with your friends and you make it, I think you should make everything a date. But I don't know, it was so fun, and I can't stress that enough. I just keep saying that it's fun. And I left that conversation feeling so elated and feeling so like kind of inspired. And she was telling me how she wants to go back to school. And she has like half of her master's. She did half of her master's in art therapy and the rest in psychology, I want to say. So that was really cool. That's how we started bonding when we first started chatting, because we were talking about because we were talking in our sound healing session. So we started talking about music and music therapy and sound healing and healing in general. And then she told me that she also studied art therapy and is trained in that. So then that just opened up so many discussions, and then so many other things, yoga, and we were just connecting on all of those things. And all in all, so freaking cool. I love meeting people, and this is what I mean. Like, I feel like I wouldn't have met her if I didn't go to this yoga studio every week, and if I also didn't continue going to the yoga studio. Because honestly, when I first started going to this studio, I was just using a class pass, okay? And then I kind of just fell in love with the place, with the people there, that I was like, I'm going to actually pay for a membership for like an intro month and see how I feel about it. And now I actually have upgraded because my month passed, my intro month passed, and I had to decide on what schedule I was going to do and how I was going to commit and what plan and all that stuff. And this is the first time I've ever wanted to like pay for a membership for something, like so genuinely. And I was talking about this with Liam the other day, how like last year we were going to the gym so often, and I was only going because Liam had that pass where you can bring a guest all the time. So I never really paid for a membership. And when I was younger, or when I was still living with my parents, we had like a family plan for the gym. And like fast forward to now, and fast forward to like, and also like several years or a few years ago, like it was never in my interest to pay for a membership at the gym, because I think it's because subconsciously a part of me always knew that, like, was I really going to go, and was it really something that I wanted to put my money towards? And I hope that makes sense. And now, like, it was a no-brainer for me. Like, I'm putting that money into that yoga studio because it's a place where I'm investing myself into. Like, I'm investing my health into, I'm investing my time and my space and my energy, and it's all good things, and it's all showing me how it's benefiting me. And to me, that makes the money worth it. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the studio is owned by 2 or 3 Filipino women. And that to me is also so wonderful and so beautiful. It makes me feel like I'm at home. It makes me feel like I'm being embraced by my culture. And I also love that. So I really fell in love with this yoga studio. And that's where I'm at every Sunday. And so I met that lovely lady. I met that lovely woman from the studio. And I'm excited to cultivate this friendship with her. It's so freaking, like, it's so random, but it also is not, because I feel like it was bound to happen with someone, like at the yoga studio, because everyone's so nice and welcoming there, and they're really so sweet, and they really care about you, and that's why I love being there. But yeah, so that's an example of just like where you can meet people as you get older. Like, I only met her because we go to the same yoga studio. Oh my god, and get this. She also just did her intro month this past month. And now she's also committing to a schedule there, and like committing to like a regular plan there, which is crazy. So we're on the same like kind of journey. And she already marked it, and we already both have it marked on our calendar for the next sound healing that we're both going to go to. And I don't know, it's so cute. It's such a fun thing. I love making friends. I love meeting people. I love meeting new people and just like creating this connection. That connections are just beautiful. Whoever it is, whatever it is, just connecting with people. I love it. And I'm really happy to be there, and I'm really happy to meet wonderful people. And I also have been just feeling this sense of community, I think, everywhere I'm at these days. Like in school, I really have found a solid group of people that I really enjoy talking to. And it's all my music therapy people. They're freaking awesome. And we're all working towards the same goal. I think that too is something that's special to me, is the people in your circle. They don't have to be in the same group of friends, but the people that you surround yourself with. I feel like when you're working towards the same thing, not exactly the same thing, like it doesn't have to be we're all working towards music therapy, or we're all working towards yoga, or like it can be just working towards something, and you guys are all just like doing things to get to a certain place in your life, and you're all just like motivated people. I think those are the kinds of people I have surrounding me right now. And I think because of that, I also just feel a magnitude of just being energized and being happy and excited for life all the time, because I'm also surrounded by like-minded people who feel the same way and who are doing things to better themselves. And so yeah, I've just been really enjoying the connection, the human connection these days. I love the people I love the friends I've made at school. They're all so sweet. And like I keep mentioning in previous episodes, I really wasn't like this when I was in my undergrad. I kid you not, I did not want to talk to anybody. I was so antisocial. I was like, no. Please don't talk to me. Please don't try to get my number. Please no. Like, I don't know what it was. I think I was like 19, 20. Like that's 10 years ago. Oh my God, that's 10 years ago. And I'm just at a different place in my life. And I think it's just like, I think I think as you get older, you have a better appreciation for things. Um, and that could go for a bunch of things. When you're young, you don't care about shit. I mean, like you don't care about shit that when you're 19, you don't care about the shit that you care about when you're 29. Simple as that. Like your priorities change and your mind changes and everything changes. I'm still friends with most of the people that I was friends with in high school. I mean, the girl I talk about all the time, Brittany, my bestie, I've been friends with her since freshman year of high school, and she is one of my bestest friends in the entire freaking world. And there's certain people I think you carry with you throughout your life from high school, and there's some people you don't, and that's okay. Like, people drift away. Some people are just high school friends, and some people are lifelong friends, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Name that movie, name that movie, name that movie. I'll give you like 2 seconds. Bruce Almighty. My favorite movie, if you ever want to know. So yeah, what am I saying? Also, yeah, it's also cool seeing the contrast between people in school right now. Like, I have some people in my classes who are like 18, 19 years old, and they have their like solid group of friends in school. And I kind of love seeing that because I love that they have their crew in college. It's something I didn't have. So I love seeing that, and I also am loving being a part of it right now. Yesterday, oh my God, yesterday in class, well, as I was getting out of class, I saw one of my friends. She was coming into the classroom that I was leaving, and she would like, we just made eye contact. I haven't seen her in like 2 weeks, and she was like, hi, hi, hi. And I was like, oh my God, hi, I haven't seen you in so long. I think she was sick. And we gave each other the sweetest hug. And like, what? Like, I never gave people hugs when I was an undergrad, dude. Like, I did not do that kind of thing. So as you can tell, I'm really loving the human connection lately. There's just something really special about it. There really is. And like, I don't know, maybe it's just the fact that I'm older and I'm appreciating things more. I'm appreciating my friends more. I'm appreciating my parents more. I'm appreciating my family more. I'm appreciating just everything and like life more. And I think that's just because life is so short. Life is so short. It is too short to worry about the wrong things. And not wrong things. It's too short to worry about the things that honestly won't matter in the long run. But like that's a practice. I wasn't always like this. I think I'm like this because I've really worked hard and dug deep to figure out what I want to do, to figure out my priorities, to figure out where I want to take my life and where I want to just like be and how I feel and what I'm going to do to make myself happy and to make me feel like I'm living a nourishing and fulfilling life. Like, I don't know, that's just super important to me. So I think like I know that I may sound crazy right now when I say some of these things, like some kind of motivational speaker. And trust me when I say that is really not what I'm trying to do here. I'm really just trying to share some wisdom on the shit that I've learned, and the shit that I've been experiencing, because last year I wasn't like this. Like, I'm telling you, when I was 19 and in undergrad, I wasn't making friends. I had one friend throughout my entire college experience, and we were best friends. And like, that's just one friend. But now in school, I mean, I have so many friends and it's so much fun. I love having friends. But anyway, I'm saying that like at 19, I was different, right? But like, I mean, even last year at 28, I was different. 27, 25, I think just like your 20s, man, are really, really, really a pivotal time. You really go through the freaking shit. And I think that's what makes me so excited to enter 30. I mean, I know I'm still several months away, but I'm really excited to enter 30 because like the decade of your 20s, there's a book called The Defining Decade, which actually the author of that book, her name is Meg J, which is crazy because I'm Megan Jo, MJ. But she talks about basically like the decades of your life, and the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, and how they're all defining decades. They all really define and really carry this certain thing. They define parts of your life. They define sorry, now my brain is moving too fast. Your defining decades are just a pivotal time. And like you can experience the same thing in your 20s and your 30s, but at a different level. You can experience some things that you experienced in your 30s. You can experience some things in your 50s that you also kind of similarly experience in your 30s, but in a different way. But anyway, yeah, so Meg J, the author of The Defining Decades, talks about how your 20s are the most defining decade of your adulthood. And I firmly believe that. My God, my 20s was crazy. And I'm in my last year of my 20s, but like, I remember at like 23, I went to this like college party. Not in my college or anything. I was with my friends, and it was like her friends from college. And we went to this like apartment in Brooklyn, and this house party in Brooklyn. And it was super fun. It was just like college kids drinking, whatever. I think some kids just graduated and it was fun, whatever. And I remember talking to a girl who was probably like 2-3 years younger than me at the time. And I remember telling her, like we were just bonding over things. And I was like, she was like telling me how like she's just in the start of her 20s, and it's like, it feels so crazy so far. And I was like, oh yeah, like your 20s are so crazy. Like, I don't know what's happening. I feel like you really go through this stuff. And like at 23, I was saying that, and I didn't know shit at 23. I thought I did, but I didn't know anything. And it's just crazy. I think that like each year in your 20s, you really learn something new, and you really evolve into this version of you that will carry throughout the rest of your life. And it's the most pivotal time. So really like take care of yourself and do the things that you want to do. Life is too short to really just not, like why not enjoy life? Why not enjoy the life that we have and not worry about like little things that won't matter in the long run, whatever that may be. And whatever it is you want to do. I mean, I literally went back to school at 28 years old. That was not part of my plan at all. And actually at this time last year, I was anxiously waiting for my acceptance from any school. And now I'm like 2 semesters in the program, and I'm loving the living shit out of it. I'm loving the crap out of my program, and it has been so much fun. And I only think it's this fun because I have this like different mindset on school, and I don't see it as a place where like, oh, I don't want to be here. That's honestly how I looked at undergrad before. I mean, I loved my program. Like my when I was in school, I loved my speech program, but it didn't feel like this. It really didn't. Like there's a whole new love that I feel for what I'm doing and my future career, and to be learning how to be a music therapist has been my favorite thing ever. Seriously. It's teaching me so many things about myself. It's teaching me so many things about people. It's teaching me so many things about the brain. It's teaching me so many things about music. And like, I just feel like my brain is literally expanding each time that I step into a classroom. My brain just gets more knowledge. I mean, right? Isn't that the point of it? But like, it's classes that I want to be in, and not like your elective classes that you have to take, unfortunately, as an undergrad. and you kind of just they're just requirements. But like, listen, school isn't for everyone. It's really not. I just so happen to honestly really love school right now, and oh my god, sorry, that was a crazy gulp. I just so happen to really love school right now, and I'm just a big nerd about it. Love it. I really do. Love the friends I've made. Love my professors so much. I love my professors. They are the most nurturing, supporting professors I've ever had. And it's really, 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 really nice to just have that like human to human connection with your professors, and not like this authoritative figure that you're just like kind of being like ruled by, you know what I mean? Like, that's not fun. Yeah, so I really love school, and I love every place that I'm at right now. School, yoga studio, work. I love being at work. I also meet really cool people at work, like my like customers, like regulars. And I mean, that's how I freaking met my yoga teacher. Like, isn't that insane? That's actually insane. I mean, maybe it's not that insane because like we see each other all the time. But like, what are the odds that she also teaches yoga? And it's literally like it's my favorite part about my Sundays. That yin yoga is truly medicine. Like the yoga that I do every day, I mean, is also medicine. It's very therapeutic to me. Did you know that there's yoga therapy? Like, like by that I mean there are literal yoga therapists. Like, that is freaking awesome. I was doing like a whole bunch of research on it like a few weeks ago when I was looking into different yoga studios. But yeah, it's so cool. But anyway, like I think just the theme of today and what I want to really emphasize is just meeting people, meeting new people, and meeting people in your community. And I think building a community and feeling that sense of community is something that will like nurture your soul. And it can be in different places. It doesn't always have to be at one. And a community is something that I didn't experience in my undergrad. I definitely experienced it in my theater academy that I was in. That was the place where I went to every weekend, where I spent time like days and like 12-hour days with my castmates and like-minded people. We were all sharing the love of theater and loved everything about it. And that was the biggest sense of community that I've ever felt, next to how I feel right now in the communities that I've inserted myself in. And I don't know, it's just something that's really important and something that I really value right now. And like, I think it just makes the places that I go to more fun. I love going to work. I love going to the yoga studio. I love going to school. Like, isn't that so fun? I love it. I just like, I know I sound crazy. I sound so crazy, but like, I think whenever I'm in like a good mood, or whenever I'm like experiencing life like this, not that I have to this degree, actually, I think this has been so far the most zest I felt in life for so long. And I think I've been trying to reach this for a while. It was something that I got in like 2020, where I felt this like huge zest for life. 2020, I know, was the craziest year, but I was experiencing it like when I was living alone in Brooklyn and in my apartment, and just experiencing that, like living on your own for the first time is truly an experience that I think that everyone needs in their life. But anyway, after that, like there came a period where like I just wasn't really enjoying life anymore. I mean, the freaking pandemic and all the stuff that followed after. But like, so this is what I'm feeling right now, I think, is something that I've been like trying to reach for quite some time now. And by doing like the littlest things in my day, I think I've found my peace and my love for this life. I really love life right now. I just love being alive. I'm really loving life at this moment where I'm at right now. And I think it's because I've really been putting myself out there. I've really been like I said, like I'm just inserting myself into these communities, and putting yourself out there is how you meet new people, how you meet new friends, how you make connections, how you do X, Y, and Z. And I know putting yourself out there is really scary and it can be really intimidating. Trust me, I feel that still in certain places where I go to, and I get shy in places in the beginning. Maybe, like, it depends. I can be really shy. Oh, I almost kicked the freaking table. I can be really shy, or I can be really open. And I think it just depends on like the environments where you feel like you can just be yourself. And I think those are the places where you should be. Those are the places where, like, if you feel this like automatic sense of like openness and you're like, oh wow, like I don't have to be shy, I could actually talk to these people. Those are the places that you should stick to. Those are the places that you should continue to go to and continue to see what it's about, because you'll just experience so many different things that, honestly, there's so much in life to experience. But like, if you can get like the littlest things out of the places that the littlest things that you do during your day, and the like, go to that class, go to that pottery class that you've been wanting to go to that kickboxing class. I still have yet to do that, and I've said that on here on an episode, I don't know which one, but I've been wanting to go to a kickboxing class too, and I actually still have my class pass. So there's something in me right now that feels this kind of, I want to say yearning, but I don't know if it's yearning. There's something in me right now that feels like a really great motivation to just do the things that I was always kind of timid to do before. And I want to take advantage of how I'm feeling right now, because I want to explore. And I don't always feel like this. I wasn't always like, yeah, let me go to this and that. Let me say hi to her, him, let me talk to everyone. Like, that's really not how I was all the time. So I really want to take advantage of this right now. And it's just all about putting yourself out there and just doing things one step at a time. And then by doing things one step at a time, you just like, honestly, and that sound was me going skyrocket with my hand. By doing the littlest things at a time, taking it day by day, you can end up at the most magical place. End up at the freaking rainbow, man. Like, seriously. I mean, to put it in like crazy words like that, but to put it in more simple terms, like, take it day by day and you'll end up somewhere, I think, somewhere where you want to be. And if not, try again. You know? I don't know. Life is too precious to kind of be grumpy at the world all day. Yeah. All right. I think I went on and on and on and on and on about life. I mean, that's really what this pod is about. It's about life and everything that life entails. Good, bad, weird, funky, you know? Excuse me. All things life. I think that concludes today's episode. Oh my God, I gotta stretch. Okay. I think that concludes today's episode of A Cup of Meg and Joe. Thanks for tuning in. I really love doing this. I don't have any questions to answer today because I kind of forgot to post about people answering questions, or I kind of forgot to post about answering questions. So I don't have any questions to answer today, but if you'd like to, or if you'd like to talk, you can slide in my DMs. My Instagram is at Megan Joe, Megan _J0. Because the O will forever be taken. So I just can't be Megan Joe on Instagram, and that's okay. Maybe someday. So it's at MEGAN _J0. I feel like I'm giving my phone number out. You gotta actually get to know me if you want to get my phone number. Sorry, I'm getting a little flirtatious here. Anyway, yeah. If you want to talk more, I would love to. I really would. I would really love to connect with you and just talk more. I'm here to chat. I'm here all day. Today I'm here all day because I have the day off. But I'm here every Monday. We do this every Monday. I do this every Monday. So, yeah. Thank you so much for listening, for watching, for tuning in, and for listening to my crazy talk about life. Life. It's a beautiful thing. So take care of it. Take care of your life. Take care of your life. Get your life. Life is truly a beautiful thing that I think we should just appreciate more. And like, we live in a crazy world these days, so do what you can, do what you're able to, and at the end of the day, make sure you're still taking care of yourself and prioritizing your happiness. Because to be happy is to live a fulfilling life and a peaceful life, I think. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. But anyway, thank you so much for listening and tuning in to A Cup of Meg and Joe. This is so much fun. I love doing it and I love talking to you. So let's meet back here next Monday, shall we? All right. Have a wonderful day. Bye.